Here's something most people never think about. The supplements sitting in your medicine cabinet right now, the ones you have been faithfully taking for years, may not be working the same way they did in your 30s. In fact, some of them may be quietly doing the opposite of what you intended. After the age of 50, your body processes nutrients differently. Your kidneys filter at a slower rate. Your liver handles accumulation differently. And certain minerals and vitamins that were perfectly safe at 35 can begin to build up, deposit in the wrong places, and create problems you would never connect back to that little daily pill. Today, I want to walk you through 3 nutrients to be genuinely cautious about after 50, and 5 nutrients that research suggests most people over 50 are critically under-consuming. Some of what I share today may surprise you. Some of it may be the opposite of what you have been told, but it is all grounded in what the science actually says. Let us start with iron, and a fact that most people do not know. Your body has no efficient way to excrete excess iron. None. Unlike most nutrients, iron that enters your body tends to stay there, and over time it accumulates. For younger women who menstruate, this is less of a concern because iron is lost monthly through that process. But for women past menopause, and for most men at any age, supplemental iron can quietly build up in the liver, generating oxidative stress and contributing to cellular damage over time. Studies suggest that excess stored iron is also associated with increased vulnerability to certain infections, as pathogens rely on iron to thrive. This does not mean you should ignore iron deficiency. If blood tests confirm you are anemic, that is a real clinical situation requiring real support. But in that case, getting your iron from natural food sources, grass-fed red meat, beef liver, or organ-based supplements is a more measured approach than high-dose supplemental iron for most people over 50. Always work with your doctor to confirm deficiency before supplementing. Calcium is probably the most well-meaning supplement mistake that adults over 50 make. Decades of public health messaging told us to take calcium for our bones, and the intention is correct. Bone density does decline with age, and calcium matters. But here is the problem. A growing body of research suggests that calcium taken in supplement form, especially without important cofactors, does not reliably reach the bones. Instead, studies indicate it may contribute to calcification of the arteries and calcium deposits in the kidneys. This is not a fringe theory. It has been examined in multiple large-scale studies and is increasingly discussed in cardiovascular research circles. The calcium channel blockers commonly prescribed for high blood pressure work precisely because excess calcium activity in blood vessels is a recognized problem. That context matters. Getting calcium from food, dairy, leafy greens, almonds, sardines, keeps it within a biological delivery system your body was designed to handle. Isolated calcium supplements are a different story entirely, and they deserve careful reconsideration after 50. Not all vitamin A is created equal, and this distinction becomes especially important as you age. The synthetic version of vitamin A, retinol, found in many multivitamins and standalone supplements, has been associated in research with liver stress, reduced bone density, and elevated intracranial pressure when taken consistently over time in higher amounts. These are not trivial side effects, particularly for an aging population where liver function and bone health are already areas of concern. The natural version of vitamin A, found in cod liver oil, egg yolks, grass-fed butter, and liver, does not carry the same risks at normal dietary intake levels. The food matrix in which natural vitamin A arrives changes how the body processes it. If your multivitamin contains synthetic retinol, that is worth discussing with your doctor, particularly if you are taking it daily. Now let us talk about what your body genuinely needs more of as you age, because this is where most people are falling short without realizing it. The first is magnesium. This mineral is chronically underconsumed by adults over 50, and its absence is felt across almost every system in the body. Magnesium acts as a biological counterbalance to calcium. It keeps calcium moving through the body correctly rather than depositing where it should not. Research supports magnesium's role in blood pressure regulation, sleep quality, muscle function, cortisol management, and cellular energy production. If you are experiencing poor sleep, muscle cramps, elevated stress, or low energy, magnesium deficiency is one of the first things worth investigating with your doctor. The second is vitamin D3. Aging skin becomes significantly less efficient at synthesizing vitamin D from sunlight. Some research suggests by as much as 70% compared to younger skin. Most adults over 50 are measurably deficient. Studies suggest that approximately 40 minutes of full sun exposure can generate around 20,000 IUs of vitamin D3 naturally, which puts commonly feared supplemental doses in perspective. If you have autoimmune concerns or chronic inflammation, some evidence indicates that higher doses of D3 may offer meaningful support, but always under medical supervision. The third is niacin, vitamin B3 in its flush-producing form. Niacin is one of the very few nutrients with clinical evidence supporting its ability to raise HDL, the so-called good cholesterol. It also supports DNA repair and cellular energy, both of which become more important as we age. Starting with small amounts and gradually increasing helps manage the temporary skin flush that niacin can produce. The fourth is vitamin K1. Found abundantly in dark leafy greens, vitamin K1 supports healthy blood clotting and has been associated in research with better cognitive outcomes in older adults. The common concern that K1 causes excessive clotting is not supported by evidence. Studies show it normalizes clotting rather than exaggerating it. And finally, vitamin K2. This is perhaps the most underappreciated nutrient for aging adults. K2 activates specific proteins that direct calcium into bones and keep it out of arterial walls. Research published in peer-reviewed journals supports K2's role in reducing vascular calcification and supporting bone density simultaneously, which makes it a uniquely powerful nutrient for the exact concerns that matter most after 50. K2 and D3 together, in particular, are increasingly recognized as a meaningful combination for bone and cardiovascular health in older adults. Here's what I want you to take away from this. After 50, your body is not the same body it was at 35. That is not a negative statement. It is simply a biological reality. And the supplement strategy that serves you best needs to reflect that reality. Be cautious with iron unless deficiency is confirmed. Reconsider isolated calcium supplements and focus on food-based sources instead. Check whether your vitamin A is synthetic or natural. And make sure you are genuinely getting enough magnesium, vitamin D3, niacin, and both forms of vitamin K, because research consistently shows these are the nutrients that aging adults are most likely to be missing. None of this replaces a conversation with your doctor, but it gives you better questions to bring to that conversation. And sometimes the right question is the most important medicine of all. If this video helped you see your supplement shelf a little differently, share it with someone over 50 who might need to hear it. And if your doctor has not had this conversation with you yet, that is exactly why I am here.